Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today, we have a throwback story time video here about a father and son opening a card store, going through the boom and bull and bear market, and now trying to make it and using money and leverage. We got a wild story today, folks. Sit back, relax. Let's talk about tales of LGSs around the country. You guys ready? Folks! Come on, are you ready? Hashtag delayed, folks. So here we go. Sit back, relax, everyone. It's a good story. You'll learn something. Seriously, this is important, everybody. So Rudy, I'm a 20-year-old guy. I'm living in the United States. Got into Magic and Pokemon around 2016. Okay, right after Kaladesh Pokemon XY era came out. First key part. You ready, guys? I've been on and off in the card world since the summer of 2021. So immediately, beginning of the story, we know the individual has not stayed in the card world. In and out, so a little bit of a short-term mindset, not long-term, and life events getting in the way, hasn't sticked with something. So that's the first thing that catches my attention. In the summer of 2016, I got interested in sports cards. Oh, this is a hard left turn. And once I figured I love watching sports cards, it wouldn't be too hard because I love sports and the cards in the market. Boy, was I wrong. Once I started the sports cards, this business, we had the idea that we could buy and sell sports cards together with my father, which was an innocent idea at the time. My dad is what you like to call a volatile individual. He goes balls deep and hardcore of whatever he gets a passion for. Nothing wrong with that. So it basically, here comes another one. So it basically no real knowledge of the entire sports card industry and how it works. We went on a spending spree. So just to clarify, my dad did ask for my approval on different purchases and collection buying and everything. But I said, I think the lack of knowledge really hurt us here. Within the first 3 months, we spent around $50,000. And another note, my dad was a contractor and he did real estate and homes and flooring and things like that. So he was using the money from the other business. Okay, so they have a regular job. They're pulling money from that to start buying cards, sports cards. Okay, so let's see where this story goes. All right, so the money was coming from, at this point in time, they weren't leveraging debt. They weren't pulling money out of a retirement account. They were pulling money from their other real estate business. So like Magic and Pokemon, the sports card market kept going up from 2016 all the way to 2021. And then all of a sudden in 2022, here comes the bear market, everybody. In 2022, the entire market shifted and we went to the nasty bear market crash. From that point, we initially spent around $50,000. We spent another $50,000 traveling to shows and going across the countries to buy collections and try to get inventory for flipping. Looking back, doesn't seem like it made much sense for us and everything. I should have stayed home and just, okay, so here we go. Well, let's go a little bit further. So anyways, going into the summer of 2023, we went to the biggest sports card collectible show of the year, Chicago. The opportunity to buy a guy's collection, and we bought another collection for $50,000. That was at 3 blocks of $50,000, so $150,000 we're into this so far. And we knew at the time we're most likely overpaying, but we were caught up in the art of the deal and the excitement, everybody. So the art of the deal we wanted, here it comes. We wanted the quick flip like a Timmy. Quick flip like a Timmy, actually written there. Okay. Once again, the money to fund these collection buying was coming from my parents' personal checking account from, I guess, the other job. I guess they were pulling from it. And again, my mom started to question what the father and son were doing and why they're putting so much money into the trading card world, and seeing no return, and the bank account only went down and tensions started to build. Okay, let's go 1 or 2 more lines. Let's finish this page. We're at the bottom now. So then we got back one of my dad's contractors in the real estate world. We bought his collection for $45,000. But this time around, we took money from a good friend of ours to pay the $50,000. So now we have our first step of borrowing and leveraging. So first, we're pulling money from another business, and the wife is not aware. Now, we're taking a step further as we go deeper in the rabbit hole. And now this is the first moment We took money from a good friend this time. Okay. Last line of the page. I didn't really have time for doing sports cards, and I really realized I have the desire to continue to sports cards anymore. But my dad was doing commercial property and other real estate, and my dad had the idea of doing a card shop, arcade, gas station hybrid business model. Let's stop there. That's the end of the first page, okay? There's a page 2 and a little bit of page 3. So what do we know so far? We got an individual who's been in and out of the card world from 2016 to 2021, and they rode the bull market up in Pokemon. Well, in sports cards. But he was on and off. He didn't stick with it. So he was just flipping, jump-in opportunity. So there was no long-term holds, just flipping and deploying chunks of money from his parents, from his dad. The mom didn't know. The mom started questioning where the money was going as the bank account was dwindling. Then we also know they were doing traveling for events to get these collections. Now that's something everybody always ridicules Rudy because I don't really travel a lot. Because I work so much. Traveling and doing shows is a lot of fun. It's a whole different lifestyle. I don't knock it at all. But understand, it increases your expenses substantially. Traveling, the word traveling is something that normal people are always obsessed with. Rudy, what would you do if you had millions of dollars? Well, little Sally, I wish I would travel the world. And that is the generic young person answer, is if I ever come into money, I want to travel. That is the most common number one thing that people dream is the lifestyle. But in reality, people don't understand the actual cost, the process, the waiting, the frustrations, the airports, the lodging, the hotels, the Airbnbs, the moving, the Uber. There's a lot to it. Now, again, those aren't negatives, but it is a consistent input money event to engage in that stuff. And on the surface, on the internet and our social media and our internet police, we all are trained in our mind that this is the rich, successful path that very wealthy people do. You travel and you just have a high cash burn, right? So we know these people were doing traveling and spending money. So we know they were buying these collections for 50 grand a pop. But we also know they were traveling and they had a lot of other expenses that they're not disclosing in the collection purchase. Because if you spend 5 grand on a trip or an event, or 10 grand if you're participating in a convention or something, you can't just say I bought a $50,000 collection. No. You had 10 grand in expenses in addition to that transactional cost for the single collection purchase. It gets complicated. So anyways, moving forward, let's see how this story unfolds. Quite interesting. So far, the dad wants to open some hybrid LGS business. They've been on and off the market with sports cards, and they just discovered in 2022 and 2023 what a bear market is like when you borrow money from someone else. All right, so next thing here. So the son, I really don't want to go back to sports and do this stuff. It left a bad taste in my mouth from the previous 2 big transactions we did. I feel hopeless. I just don't think there's money to be made. Again, bear market. So when they were buying, any form of flipping or opportunities is a race. And we talk about this all the time on the channel, folks. Everybody, we are back to it. We are approaching higher hype levels than 2021 with Magic and Pokemon. And I tell you all the time, the flipping, the arbitrage, the jumping in and out, it's all great in these perfect churning markets where everything goes up every 30, 60 days. It will not endlessly go up. We will level out. Things will flatten. We may even have a retracement. Sure, 2025 right now looks like a full amazing year, but we don't know. We won't know until we get through the year and we can stop. We all turn around and we look what happened. So again, anyone who's flipping in short-term anything, it only works in certain parts of the market cycle. Okay, so moving forward to January, February of 2023, 2024, I think maybe 2024 now, it doesn't say, it just says January, February. Rolled around, I got back into Magic, and I discovered the Rudy Alpha Investment YouTube videos and channels, and I was already into Magic and Pokemon at this time. I wanted to try something that was completely different, and hey, you actually became a patron. Thank you very much. And Rudy, for the first time ever, I enjoy it and everything, and you do a good job with your sales, and you actually help people, and whoa. I know I'd pay you $50 to say this, but you can't be positive on my channel. Everybody knows that's not real. Like, I have to make my own patron accounts and pay myself. Like, the members are all my other what was it called? Sock puppet accounts. I love that phrase. I need new sock puppets. Okay, sorry. Serious channel. Anyways, so we're getting off track, moving on. So here's the interesting thing. So now we're back at home. He's going back, he's finishing school in college. And I don't have the desire for sports cards anymore. Seems to have a lot more passion and excitement for Magic and Pokemon, the gaming card world, which is fine. But of course, his dad was still loving and interested in this stuff, but mostly probably sports cards. So this is where it gets interesting. My dad still has the desire to open up that hybrid LGS brick and mortar business. And as of yesterday, we finally opened the doors to our new brick and mortar business. As of right now, my dad already has $20,000 in credit card debt and asked my mom if she could pay it off. And she put her foot down and said no, he has to sell his vehicle to pay off credit card debt. So the interest doesn't eat him alive on the credit card debt. Okay. I've been doing pretty good working in college and everything, and I've been putting money in the S&P 500. Hey, SPYs, VOO, good choices. Again, if you want financial advice and you're young and you have a long time frame, buy the fucking S&P 500. Jesus Christ. Not financial. No, it's financial advice. Buy the S&P 500, wait 10, 20, 30 years. Is there even any time in 20, 30 year window the S&P's ever been negative? I don't even think it's ever even happened. Anyways. I want to help him out. All the money he spent over the last... Oh, interesting. Here comes the guilt emotional aspect. I want to help my dad out because he spent all the money for me and him doing the trips. The traveling and the trips to card shows of 4 Vegas trips, multiple Minneapolis trips, and Dallas trips, and Chicago trips, or whatever. He already said he won't take my money, so don't worry about it. Okay, so Rudy, based on what I've said so far, what do you think a realistic outcome of my dad opening up this card shop now? Love the videos. Slap me in the face with some reality. I want an honest opinion of the whole thing. All right. So, what can we deduct from this story? We've got individuals living their life, a dad who's in the real estate world, and they were jumping in and out of the sports card world, buying collections, doing the flips of the collections to try to, get some arbitrage and put some work into it, buy a collection cheap, chop it up to pieces, do the flips, try to grab that 10, 20, 30% arbitrage margin. We're using capital from the father's business, from the real estate. Didn't tell the mom. She got suspicious. Bank account was dropping. Eventually, they fell apart. They want to open LGS. Looks like the dad finally opened some hybrid business something, and it wants to leverage and utilize that for sports card access and maybe just distribution access or whatever. And first of all, if you are not aware of the ability to get sports cards and opening an LGS for sports cards, if you think Magic and Pokemon distribution with LGSs and brick and mortar, ladies and gentlemen, you have no clue the dark, devastating pit of getting wholesale access to sports products. Bro, you don't know what unfair ripping your own skin and eating your eyeball and mailing your nut to yourself. You have no clue the world of distribution until you try to do sports cards. That's all I can tell you. Past that, run. Unless you are literally a 40-year time frame and you can build it up for 10, 20 years just to even get access to shit, don't even waste your time. Okay, now that we know they finally opened a store, the son wants to, Rudy, what's an honest thing? What do you think is going to happen here? Well, we're going to start the video off right here. And I'm going to tell you, based on everything we just read, I think they're fucked. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great day. I'm not going to be that much of an ass. I'm serious. And when on reality, not only, they're just fucked. I'm sorry, that's the end of the video. No, seriously. The problem is, you need tremendous capital in this industry. People who have tremendous capital tend to not be the same overlapping people who are going to open a card store because they already have access to a lot of money. Maybe they're already wealthy or rich. Why are they going to work 40, 60 hours a week for minimum wage hourly pay that'll break down? The numbers don't work, which is why most stores that are open are done by people who have a passion. They're not business people, and they don't get it. And that's why most stores that open fail, and most of them are undercapitalized. The problem here is this father and son situation. The father has a real estate business. The son is talking about school and different things and, having traditional S&P and different things that, he has regular retirement, whatever. But unless both these individuals literally do 40, 60 hours each, number one, they won't make it. You have to sink massive time. Number two, they're already undercapitalized. They're already in debt. The cash flow situation is going to prevent them from seizing any huge opportunities that come along. Like right now, if tomorrow morning, Monday rolls around, and I get a phone call or an email or something from a distributor, or an email from I don't even know, a patron. Okay, let's say somebody emails me, says, Rudy, I've got, I don't know what a good example is. I don't know, 1,000 boxes. Let's use what happened 2 years ago. Rudy, I got 3,000 boxes of Chilling Reign. Nobody wants it. I know normally it's like $80 a box. Will you take them for $69 a box? But you got to take them all. We got to get them off the books. End of the year, tax loss. Will you take 3,000 boxes of Chilling Reign for $210,000 for 3,000 boxes? Your immediate brain is going to go, this is an interesting opportunity. Then the rest of your brain is going to go, how the fuck am I going to pay for this? Then the next thing is going to be, whoa, what is there something going on? What if it's collapsing? You're going to go through the cycle of emotions as you break down the Donkey Kong, Tetris, Zelda, Link to the Past, Zelda 2, the side scroller where you question your sanity. You're going to go through this stuff, end up in Xanadu, Dungeons and Dragons. You're going to play Dragon Warrior. You're going to move through Hero Quest, and then you're going to realize what you're supposed to do, what you can do, and what you're probably going to end up doing. You're going to go through this psychological thing. You're going to think about it at night. You're going to wake up in the morning. You're going to try to say, well, how can I come up with the capital? Should I borrow? Should I 0%? Should I take a line of credit? You're going to go through all this stupid shit. And it comes down to a simple thing. If you have the money, it's going to breed opportunity for you to have more jumps in wealth in the future. So this guy's situation, what if somebody walks in his LGS tomorrow? Has a full set of Magic the Gathering revised. And it's mint condition. And the guy goes, yeah, I know it's worth, $3 to $5 grand, and I'm looking for $3 grand. Is the guy going to even have $3 grand, or is he going to have to borrow more on a credit card? You see what I'm saying? The fact that his capital situation out of the gate is already in a devastatingly dangerous, bad situation, you are increasing the probability of failure. What if he comes in tomorrow and the air conditioning of the unit he opens breaks? And as you all know, in commercial real estate, when it comes to retail strip centers, shopping centers, or anything, air conditioning units are not covered in 90% of all leases agreements in retail transactions in shopping centers and retail spaces. So is he going to have $5,000 to $8,000 to overhaul it because he bought an old unit, or he signed a lease on an old unit? What if the city changes the code? He has to update something with bathrooms or handicapped or front door, or somebody breaks the glass, or he gets... What if any life event happens? What if Mother Nature says, you know what, I'm going to shoot a fucking volcano, let's shoot lava, and a giant lava meteor comes down and melts the front of their business, and they have to spend 10 grand to fix it. Oh, Rudy, they have insurance. Okay, cool. $5,000 deductible on the insurance, and the policy doubles. How are they going to foot the bill? These are all things that are even related to selling cards. These are just the shit life events that when you wake up in the morning and you're going, oh God, I'm old. Oh, my neck hurts. I didn't sleep good. I need to go to the bathroom. Now I'm hungry. Where's the bacon? I need hash. Oh God. We're not even talking about getting to work for the day. We're not even talking about a customer coming in and stealing. You actually buy a collection you're upside down on. You actually buy a counterfeit thing. You sell something online, it gets lost in the mail, and you just lose the money because the post office hosed you. Or a customer bought a bunch of cases and was fraud. We're not talking about any of these negative variables in life. We're talking about just getting to the front door and unlocking for the day and hitting the open sign. That's what my brain is seeing. And the fact that this individual is going to have no capital to leverage the opportunities that will come, not if. Opportunities always come up. And the question is, are you able to jump when these windows of opportunities crack open? The window just cracks a little bit. You can't fit your body through. You can barely fit your left nut through. It's literally a small moment where you can seize it or the window closes and goes to the next person. It happens all the time. I've missed many things over the years. You guys, I've done story times with the top things I've missed, and it still haunts me. Why? Because I took too long. I didn't have the free cash flow. Maybe something came up. Maybe I didn't believe in the product. It happened all the time. All the time. You know? And that's the problem with the story. It has nothing to do with the son. It has nothing to do with the mom and dad. I don't know them. I don't know their work ethic. Maybe they will work 100 hours a week, and maybe they will overcome the odds. And maybe in 20 years, this thing will be a huge, successful, thriving business. But I am just strictly talking mathematical probability. These individuals are on a path where the odds are stacked against them. I want to deploy capital, make decisions, and I run the business. A lot of people criticize Rudy. You know, everyone who closes their Patreon account or their account gets delinquent and the account leaves the system, my system automatically within 24 hours bans them and locks them out for life. And I get criticized for that all the time. Rudy, you know, why do you do that to people? Because we run a very strict thing. Everybody gets one fair, equal chance. And people, you know, there's reasons for it. I don't like people coming and going and gaming the system. You know, in bear markets, a lot of customers, they don't come back. Suddenly, right now, in the last 90 days, all kinds of people from the last 2 years. Rudy, God, dude, bro, gee, I just got out of prison. I just came back from the Titanic. I'm the ghost of the Titanic. I got to get back in. I'm like, oh, that's good. Because I know the behavior patterns. And I know, based on the behavior patterns of the information disclosed in the story, the problem is this is a family that's saddling themselves up with debt and risk, trying to make it work. In the big things in the card world that breed wealth and kind of money and riches in the future, they're not going to be able to take advantage of because they don't have the capital and infrastructure in place. So that's going to limit the upward growth of this individual's future in the card world. That's the key to this stuff. You know, I am still, like in the Rudy situation. Where's the bull market, everybody? Oh, Rudy, anything new? New Magic, new Pokemon, Flesh and Blood singles, the sorcery stuff, new wife sets. You know, everything's just, you know, going crazy. I know. Oh, Rudy, where's the bear market? Well, duh. Old Magic cards. Nobody wants them. They're all shit and crash, right? Everybody knows that. Where are the bear markets? Huh? What's the bear market? Let's see. Luxury watches, APs, Rolexes, and Pateks. Let's see here. Comic books, great video games, Walter Highs, Persian rugs, old 18th, 19th century art with gold frames. Ew, gross. Let's see here. Vintage Magic cards. You know, we're all the things that are shit. Where are the things that don't go up and people want? And I just named a bunch of categories. And what's funny about the categories I named, some of you are going to go, you know, that fucking creepy Rudy guy, that something he just rambled off. I see that shit in his backgrounds, and he talks about it. You know, you have to look at markets as cycles. And this individual has learned when he went through 2022 and 3, after he was doing on and off flipping, he got wrecked. And now they're opening a business trying to find a new path forward. And it may work for them. They may get lucky. Maybe they get a good local scene. The problem is, life is about probability. You're always going to have people that can overcome the odds. You're always going to have people that kind of make an example. And you know, the problem is too, over the next 5 years, if anything happens to him, his dad, his mom, transportation, the health, their outside jobs, if anything happens in any outside category, it's going to devastate this brand new small business. And this brand new small business already has no buffer. It is in debt. And what happens if they pre-order a new product and it tanks? What happens if, you know, they buy a bunch of Baldur's Gate collector boxes in Magic, and then suddenly they pay the distributor and they're wiped out, or they can't pay the distributor and they get cut off? There are so many ways to trip and fail, which is why we've talked about for almost a decade on this channel. You know, you know, I have seen so many businesses come and go. The average lifespan of a YouTuber is like 6 to 12 months max. The average life cycle and the average success rate of an LGS is usually 18 to 24 months before they give up, sell the business, something changes, close for remodeling, under new management, whatever the fuck you want to say. Shit hits the fan. That's all it is. because there's a point you realize when the first of the month keeps hitting every few weeks and you have that drawdown in your bank account of expenses and overhead, you realize, what am I doing? Why am I working so much and it's just not worth it? Eventually, you know, the human brain just says, you know, we got to make a change. So final comment on this video is, I hope you all out there, everything I just rambled and talked to you about, if you are looking and you have a passion for the card world like me, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong path, but I hope all the things I've said here help you say, okay, if I want to do this, Creepy Rudy Basement Left Ball Taco Tetherman says, you know, I need capital, can't have debt, I can't borrow, and, you know, okay, at least take some of the things I rambled into your face, into your ex-wife, and let her know that, you know, you got to think things out. You got to look at the good, the bad, and you got to be realistic about it. And no matter how much effort you put into it, you must go into all purchases and all investing as if there is a chance it just flat out fucking fails. I mean, you're talking to a guy who, you know, 2 years ago, I bought almost 10,000 boxes of Baldur's Gate collectors. Patrons bought about half. I got stuck with thousands of boxes and they collapsed. Now again, I was very fortunate. I had the capital. I moved some money, had to take reserve capital and cash flow from brokerage accounts and things, and I had to pay off distribution, make sure I didn't go into debt and keep things moving forward. And again, because I was able to do that, 2 years later, the product reinflated, went back up in value, and everything worked out. The only reason bad things like that worked out is because I had the reserves, the capital, and the long-term mindset to handle the downswings of the roller coaster. And that's it. That's the only difference. I'm not a magical person. I don't know the key to the card world. Well, Rudy, you know, he just knows how to manipulate. No. If I knew, I wouldn't buy the products that go down. Why would I buy 15,000 boxes of Scarlet Violet of every set if I knew specifically which set was Evolving Skies? I don't know. I'm not smart enough. So I have to diversify. I have to go into everything with the negative attitude that the market will be angry, people will reject it, and am I okay getting stuck with it if nobody buys it and patrons just say, no, Rudy, I'm not buying that shit. I have to go into everything with that attitude. So if you're looking to take that kind of future, make sure you really never be overconfident in everything. Always go into everything where you knowing that you could just be flat out wrong. Lord of the Rings, special holiday boxes. You always go into everything knowing you could be wrong. And always go into it, maybe the market's wrong. And the only way you're going to know who's right and who's telling the truth is time has to reveal that. Hope you learned something. Have a beautiful fucking day.